Live on YouTube. Everyone. Live on YouTube. Okay, there we go. Let me. Okay, so thanks for joining me again, everyone, for another Winning Wednesday with the Bag Ladies. My name is Alethea, and I'm just going to be here with my partner, Ty, and we're going to just take a look at the market. Things that have been looking a bit crazy for the past 2 days, actually. So we're going to look at the market. We may or may not see possible entries. If we do, great. If we don't, that's okay too, right? But before we get into it, I'm going to let Ty do a bit of housekeeping. Go right ahead, Miss Ty.
You know what? And for this reason, I should have been prepared to come on. So, hi, everybody. Thank you all for coming. And just so you know, usually I'm only here to analyze the market and throw out some trades. Alethea does this is her call, and she does all the educational portion. I've already looked at the market this morning, and I don't feel comfortable calling out any trades for anyone to take, whether it's in a demo account or especially a real account today. So we had already talked before this call, and I pretty much said I was going to come on, but I forgot I had to do housekeeping. So just in case we do see anything to jump into, which I'll be honest, I doubt, we still want to let it be known that this call is for teaching purposes only. Alethea and I are not licensed traders. We are not licensed brokers, and therefore we are not responsible for your accounts. Everyone is responsible for his or her own account. And with that being said, trade at your own risk. If we happen to find any trades to get into, Alethea is going to suggest, I'm sure, that you trade 1% or even less of your account today because of the way that the market is moving. But you, again, you own your own account. So if you want to trade 2, 3, 4, 5, 12%, 100% on a trade because you think it's a great idea, that's up to you. We would not suggest it, but again, you trade at your own risk. It is your own account. So if you are new, you'll be shown how to set up a demo account so that you can trade alongside us if you'd like, but do know that it's highly unlikely based on our analysis of the market today that we'll be taking any trades. And Alethea, I apologize. I didn't think about this. I would have been prepared to be on camera for this.
It's okay. It's all right. We would have loved to see your beautiful face, but hey, next time. Do I have? Okay, good. I just want to make sure you guys can see me. All right, so let's just jump right into it, right? It's the same things that we do every time. So we're doing binary options. It's a time-based style of trading, still within that foreign exchange space. We're still doing Forex, but it's time-based Forex, right? It's much faster. I love it. Let's open this up. So the first thing we need to do is check the news, right? So for that, we're going to go to forexfactory.com and let's see, what are we looking at here, right? So the date is to the far left, the time and the currency and the impact in a series of folders with different colors. So today is December 1st. Happy new month, everybody. I hope that the year has been great. It's 2022. It's around the corner. So get ready because it's here. It is now 11 o'clock, right? I'm on Eastern Standard Time. I'm in New York. So it's 11:12 a.m. So scrolling down, the last news event was at 10:30 a.m. And we were just talking about how crazy the market was looking. You see all these red folders. That's why we don't know that it will be uh, any possibility of taking any trades. We're going to check. We'll see what there is. So at so all day. Oh, here's the answer. I didn't even notice. All day on all currencies, there is a red folder. A red folder means high impact, right? So at any moment, anything can happen with any one of the currencies. So no, this is not a regular occurrence. Typically, what happens is the yellow folder is low impact, orange folder is medium impact, and the red folder is a high impact occurrence. And when there's a high impact occurrence, such as there was at 8:15 a.m. on the US dollar, you would not be trading that currency. So typically when I jump on to trade, I'm trading for an hour at a time. So if at 8 o'clock I decided I was going to trade and I logged on and I saw, oh, there's a red folder on the US dollar of all currencies at 8 a.m., I personally would just log off. Why would I just log off? Because it's the US dollar that has that red folder. What I have found is that whenever there's a red folder on the US dollar in particular, it tends to affect everything. Now, at 9 o'clock, we see that there was a red folder on the Great Britain pound. So if it was 9 o'clock that I had logged on, let's pretend that there wasn't a red folder on the US dollar an hour earlier. So if I log on and I get ready to trade at 9 o'clock and I see this red folder, what I would do is I would not trade any currency pairs that included the Great Britain pound, right? I just would avoid that currency altogether. But other currencies would be on the table for me, right? But as there's a red folder on the US dollar, and I know it affects everything, I wouldn't be trading 8 o'clock. I wouldn't be trading 9 o'clock. We see here it comes back at 10 o'clock. I wouldn't be trading 10 o'clock. I wouldn't be trading 11 o'clock really. And it's 11 o'clock right now. So I'm really not going to be taking any trades. Ty mentioned that I would be recommending 1%. Yeah. So when it comes to trading, you want to risk 1, 2, or 3% of your account for any one trade that you take. 1% is for that really conservative trader, and that's a newbie. You're conservative. You better be conservative as a newbie. 2% moderate, 3%, that's a really aggressive trader. If you're gonna risk 3% for any one trade, you should be a seasoned trader and you're willing to take that risk. So we live in the 1% land, and in an instance like this, I would suggest not trade whatsoever. But let's say there wasn't this red folder looming over the entire day, but there was a red folder on something, I would risk less than 1%. So that 1% now drops down to less than 1%. Does everybody understand everything that I'm saying so far? Shauna, you're good? Do you have any questions?
I am good so far.
Okay,
Thanks.
awesome. And you're good. Okay, awesome, Brooks. All right, so I'm going to copy and drop this forexfactory.com in the chat. There you go. So anybody that needs it can grab that there. Forex Factory is a must whenever you're starting to trade. Okay. Next, after Forex Factory, which tells you what you're not going to trade, and we know that we're not going to trade, let's just say we're not going to look at the US dollar, right? Let's just say that we won't look at the US dollar because it's had a lot going on. We'll analyze some other stuff, right? Doesn't mean we'll get in, but we'll see. Next, we will go to lifecharts.co.uk. And here we have the currency strength. So I'm going to use lifecharts.co, and I'm also going to look at FinViz. This gives you the volume, right? So typically I just use FinViz, but I'm going to use them both. I'll use them. We're going to have a partnership, right? So firstly, lifecharts.co gives you the currency strength in bars. So you just have to count the bars. So Euro, JPY, that looks good because there are 2 bars here and there are 5 bars here. So the euro with just 2 bars is weaker than the yen, which has 5 bars. So when the first currency or the base currency is lower than the quote currency, we're looking for cells. Okay. So when 1 is less than 2, we're looking for cells. Let's just make sure that it looks that same way over here. So here on finviz.co, it's laid out from strongest currency to the far left to weakest to the far right. So looking at this, I was just talking about the euro and the Japanese yen, correct? We see the euro being to the right, which means that it's weaker than the yen, which is to the left. When I'm looking at this, and this is really close, in my opinion, I would want to be looking at, say, Euro NZD. Let me see what we're seeing over here. Interesting. NZD, it's the Euro here has 2 bars. The NZD has 4 bars. Let me reload that. Yep, still looks the same. Okay, awesome. Perfect. So we're going to, hold on. We have some people joining us. Welcome, welcome. Glad to have you here. All right, so I want to look at a bullish idea and a bearish idea. So Euro JPY, oh, and look at that. We see, I didn't even realize. So the currency strength has changed on the euro. It has actually gained some strength, you know. So that's the difference between lifecharts.co and FinViz. Here, you have to refresh the screen to see if any change occurs. Wow, look, I just refreshed and it has lost strength again. All right. But yet, look at NZD, which I was saying, oh, it had only 4. Now it has 5. So Euro NZD, I'm going to look at that for a bearish idea. Bearish means the price is going down. That represents a red candle, right? So Euro NZD, the first or the base falls to the right of the quote being on the left. So we're going to look for bearish ideas. On the flip side, if we want to see a bullish idea, then the base or currency 1 needs to be stronger. So AU fulfills that, but we're not looking at USD, right? So let's say AJ. AJ fulfills that. AUD CHF also fulfills that. Thank you, Ty, for dropping that link, right? AUD CHF also fulfills that. I'm not a big fan of CHF. Like, I personally don't like to do Swiss francs, right? But we're working in a demo account. So, and I would suggest that everybody just stay with your demo account for today's session, because the market is not looking great. So once you decide what you're going to trade, you know, so Forex Factory tells you what you're not going to trade, but then you look at currency strength to determine what you want to take a look at, right? So now, where are you going to take a look at this stuff? You're going to go to Trading View. So tradingview.com. Okay, yes, Usario de Zoom, I see you have your hand raised.
Yes, yes, yes. I was trying to find out. You were just showing where to look at the currency strength. I'm on that page. Maybe I'm on the wrong page, but what did you click on? It says FinViz home news screen. Like which
Okay,
one was it to get to that spot?
all right, let me show you. When you go to FinViz, you hit Forex. You see my
Okay, gotcha.
cursor? Yeah.
Yep,
You
yep,
hit
got it.
Forex and it will take you here. And we have a
Okay.
question. Oh no, that's okay. Perfect. Great.
Gotcha,
Yes.
gotcha.
Thank you. All right.
And one more thing, you also said that the strength, um, to know something about the base pair and
Mhm.
to see which one's higher. How does that work again?
Okay, so when the base or the first currency is
Currency.
lower than the quote or the second currency, you're looking for bearish ideas or sells. So looking at FinViz here, it goes from the strongest currency on the left to the weakest currency on the right. So if the base falls on the left, then that means the first currency is the stronger, right? So let's say NZD USD, for example, and we're not doing any USD analysis today because the US dollar is wilding, right? But let's say NZD USD is something we would be analyzing. We would be looking at it for a bullish idea or a buy or for price to go up because the first or the base falls to the left and the quote or the second falls to the right. On the flip side, for a sell opportunity, a bearish opportunity, a price going down, we would want to see the base being on the right side. So here, another example would be Euro NZD, where Euro is the base or the first currency falling to the right and the quote or the second falling to the left, we would be looking for bearish ideas. We'd be looking for price to go down. Got it? Did I lose
Yes,
you?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I
Oh,
did.
oh,
Thank you.
okay. I'm like, man, I think I did such a
No.
great job. Where did he go?
You did. You did. I appreciate it.
All right. Okay, great. So, and I was saying that you can use this updates in real time. Livecharts.co.uk does not update in real time. You have to refresh the page to see any changes that may occur, right? So see NZD, it lost a bar again. So I guess NZD is fluttering about. So now we've decided what we're going to look at, right? We had said we would look at Euro NZD. And okay, Usario de Zoom, Euro NZD. I'm going to be analyzing Euro NZD. What do you think I'll be looking for? Do you think I'll be looking for a bearish or a bullish idea with Euro NZD?
So are you saying the euro is first and then the NZD is last?
Mm-hmm.
So then it would be a sell, wouldn't it be?
Exactly. Exactly. All right. So now we're here. I'm gonna look up Euro NZD. NZD. And I always select Owanda. I always go with Owanda. The reason being the price corresponds best with the price in the broker. All right. And looking, what do we see? Thanks, Brooke. Looking, what do we see at first glance? We see that it's a downtrend,
Downward
right?
trend. Yeah.
Exactly. So, because sometimes, you'll check the currency strength and it will say, okay, one is stronger than two or vice versa. And then you come and you actually see an uptrend. When you see something like that, you may want to not bother either. Okay, and okay, this is an example of that because this is actually an uptrend. We see it plain as day, right?
Yeah, it's going up, but it pulls back a little and it keeps going
Yeah.
up, comes back down.
So it's an uptrend, but there's a tiny downtrend happening that we could capitalize on, but make no mistake. Wait, on the hour, let's see. Okay, so it is an uptrend. The uptrend started maybe when the new day began, because I'm looking, this is the hour chart, but we see it's an uptrend, but there's a tiny downtrend here. So yeah, I would be cautious, but we already know we're being cautious. And you missed the start where I was talking about the fact that there's so many red folders. So we're getting into any real trade. So I don't want anybody in their real accounts. And Ty already put out the disclaimer. So anybody who trades using their real account, you're doing it on your own, I mean, it's always on your own, but even more so now. But let me show people how to set up a demo account so that you can follow along with us with some Monopoly money. Monopoly money is the name of the game today. So we're going to go to pocketoption.com, and this is not me endorsing Pocket Option. The academy that I'm enrolled in, Learning to Trade, we're not affiliated with any brokers, right? I'm just using Pocket Option because you can get a free demo account here, but you can trade with any broker you decide on. There are quite a number of them. You just need to do your research and use whatever broker you think works best for you. I'm in the US, people are trading all over the world, so there are brokers that you can use all over. There are US regulated brokers. So you look into it, you choose whatever you like. So Pocket Option, you can log in 3 different ways. You can log in using your Facebook if you want. If you have a Google account, you can log in with the Google, or you can use your email and create a password. Now, if you think that going forward, you may want to make this your real account that you use, I would recommend using your email and creating a password. We saw that Facebook had some crisis the other day. So it's just not a good idea. You want to choose your own password. I think that makes more sense. But whatever option you want to use, you go ahead. So registration, you select whatever you're selecting, and I'll be meeting you on the other side. So let me go to the login. So, oh, I forgot to select that I'm not a robot. By now, you'd think that they would stop asking me that.
Only a robot would take offense.
Oh, man, they need to stop. All right, so when you log in, you're going to have the candles, and chances are you're going to see it set to stocks. So you want to first, beside whatever you see here, some letters you'll see here, to the right of it, you want to select that box and you want to change it from candlesticks to line. And that's just my preference. If you decide that you want to keep it at candles, that's your prerogative. I'm changing it to a line chart and toggling this to the right to show the area. Let's see. Brooke, I don't know why I can hear the he like laughter. All right, so once I've done that, now you want to change it from stocks to currency, right? You select the letters. It's going to be on stocks. You change it to currency. And then the next thing that I do right now, it's based on the percentage payout. So from 92% payout all the way down to 30%. Ooh, I don't like that. So I'm going to change it to alphabetical, A to Z, because that will make it easier for me to find the currency pairs. So now it's in alphabetical order as opposed to payout percentage. Click outside the box, right? And robot. Yes, robot lives matter. So now, to take a trade, there are 4 things that you're going to listen out for, okay? First, it's the currency pair. So I said I'm going to look at Euro NZD, right? So that's the currency pair. You would go here. It's in alphabetical order. So A, C, E, Euro NZD, right there. It's paying out 75%, right? Select outside the box. All right. So 1, currency pair. 2 is the time frame. Now, typically when I do my analysis, in the broker that I typically use, I do 3 or 4 minutes fixed time. But in pocket option for this demonstration, it's always going to be M5, right? So you'd select M5 here and or M whatever it is on when you first create your account, and you just would select M5. I'm going to put it on M1 right now just to do a quick demo trade. So the 1, 2, 3, 5 represents the amount of minutes. So it's on M1, so it's 1 minute for this quick demo. So the currency pair, the time frame, the strike price. So this blue dot represents price. So price is constantly moving. And based on the analysis, I have to make an educated determination as to whether price is gonna go up or go down. And I just need to be accurate with my analysis. So when I'm calling out my trade idea, or Ty, both of us call out trade ideas, right? We're not calling out the strike price being 1.65423. That's a lot of numbers to call out, right? We're just going to call out the last 3 numbers, and it's either going to be a bullish or bearish idea. So a bullish idea, we think price is going up. A bearish idea, we think price is going down. So say right now it's on 415, and I think price is gonna go up. I would say 415 or lower. So when we think it's a bullish idea, we're getting in as low as possible to then go up. If it's a bearish idea where we think price is coming down, it would be 415, like I said, or higher. You want to get in as high as possible to then ride that thing down, right? So that's the 4 things: the pair, the time frame, the strike price, and then whether it's bullish or bearish. So, Brooke, right now, looking at this, do you think price is going to continue going up or it's going to go down?
Based on the
Just a guess. Vegas
okay,
style.
Vegas style, I say up.
Okay, so I hit that green button for price to go up. So now I just need price to stay above this green line for the duration of this trade until it comes here, right? That's all we need to happen. That's how you enter the trade. But of course, this is not Vegas. Gambling is one thing. This is not what we're doing. We are doing analysis, right? But I just wanted to show how easy it is to get into a trade. Now let's hope it stays above so that you don't owe me $1. So here, yeah, fingers crossed, yes. Here we have the trade amount. When you first log in, you're gonna have 1,000 demo dollars, right? And remember we spoke about risking no more than 3%, 1% if you're conservative, 2% moderate, 3% aggressive, right? But everybody should be risking 1% on this call, right? 1%, we going really conservative today, right? And it's demo trades, but just to practice, let's pretend like it's real, right? Okay, so wow, Brooke, woo, woo, woo. You made me 75 cents. So the payout was 75%. So 75% of the dollar is 75 cents. So we see it here. Made $1.75. Yeah, that's right. So let's see. Cash out, yes. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, all right. So that's how you take a trade. So now let's do a little bit of analysis. Let's first make sure that Euro NZD is still looking good. Okay. So we're going to look at Euro NZD for a bearish idea. So then we're going to come to the chart. We already are on Euro NZD and TradingView. It's a free site. There's a paid version, but you can use it for free. The paid version is just going to give you added features that you may find useful as you get further into your trading journey, right? But we can use the free version. Now, since it's a sell opportunity we're looking for, I'm going to be looking to sell the floor, right? So, because you sell the floor of a downtrend. So we're here. We need a floor above. That's looking pretty far.
So when you say the floor, naive people like myself, what exactly are you looking at and referring to as the floor? I heard you said downtrend, but naive persons like myself here.
Okay, so we see the downtrend here. It's definite downtrend, right? Let's change the color. So even though it's a downtrend and we have this trend line going down, price is not just moving down smoothly like that. It's having pullbacks, pullbacks, pullbacks coming up on its way down, right? So we want to get in on the floor, as in an area where it went down and pulled back up. So this is a floor.
Copy. Okay.
This is a floor, right? And when it's a trending market, you want to sell the floor of a downtrend. When it's a trending market where it's trending up, you want to buy the ceiling. Now, the whole idea behind it is that the floor will now be the roof. So it was the floor here where it came here and it went back up. So now it's broken the floor, it's gone below. So I would be looking to get in when the floor is now the ceiling. Make sense? So I
Okay,
would be
gotcha.
looking to get in when it pulls back up to 869. And that's what is comfortable for me. And that's just me taking a quick look on this. I'm also going to look on the 5 minute. All right, so now I look on the 5 minute. Things look crazy here. So really and truly, I don't like it. I don't like it. So it's consolidating here. So even though on a bigger scale, it's a downtrend, on a smaller scale, price is really in consolidation. So I would mark the ceiling here and the floor here. It's bouncing in between. So when it's a trending market, you want to sell the floor of a downtrend and you want to buy the roof of an uptrend. But when the market is in consolidation, you sell the ceiling and you buy the floor. So that's a whole different idea, right?
Okay,
But that's what's going on here. That's what's going on here.
gotcha.
Yeah. So for me, Euro NZD really does not look good. And look at that huge candle. But again, if we take a look at Forex Factory, we saw that there is a red folder and it says all. So for all currencies, there is high impact news in effect and things are just all crazy. And that's why we're not getting into the market. Okay. So, but let's look at something else. Let's see if we can find something. So let's look at Euro JPY. That's also bearish. Oh, here comes Brian. That's also bearish. Euro JPY. That's one of the pairs that I actually do like to look at. All right, so remove drawing. This I can work with. All right. So we're selling the floor. So that looks good to me. That's a floor. On this time frame, that looks good to me. That's a floor. So I would be looking for price to pull up to 022. That would be where I would want to enter this market. I know it looks really far. Now, since price is way oversold, I could try and take a buy real quick. So once you decide on your entry, once you decide on the currency that you're gonna go with and your entry price, you wanna come and select it and be ready. So we're looking at Euro JPY, right? Euro JPY, and look, it's paying out 47%. That is pitiful, but that's what it's paying out. So if it pulls back to 831 again, let me see. On the 15 minute, it's also oversold. So yeah, definitely. I will take this trade for the north side. Put it to M5. Oh, I missed the entry. Hold on. All right. 831 was the entry, but I'm getting in here. And this is a more risky trade because this is a downtrend. But I'm taking a chance because I see that prices in the Bollinger Band on the outskirts. It's also oversold on the 15-minute and on the 5-minute. So I feel like price is gonna turn around and come up, right? So yeah. But really the entry that we're looking for is 022. That's what we're looking for. 022 for the south side. That's what we're waiting on. Okay. That's what we're waiting on, right? So that will be my official call out. 022 or higher for a bearish idea going south. Does anybody have any questions? And me entering this other trade is just me testing out something. All right. And this is this is a demo account. So it's a more risky thing. But yeah. No questions? Oh, okay. Here we go. No question. Oh, thank you, madam. Now, this actually looks great for a Delorean. And here we see it, yellow, red, aqua, gray, blue. It looks great for a Delorean, which is not something I really talk about on here. The only reason that I'm not really looking at it is that it is overbought. Oversold, sorry, oversold.
So I know
Yeah.
I know we don't really, or y'all don't really look at the Liberty, but on Liberty, from what it's showing over here, that's
Mhm.
still gonna stay in the sold, or it's not gonna go up as we predicted or as you was predicting.
Well, I'm not oh, really? It's not?
But on this thing, that's what it's showing. Maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know anything about Liberty. I don't know
Understood.
anything about that.
See,
Okay.
it's going down more now.
But Ty, do you want to talk a little bit about when you're doing your analysis with DeLorean and when it's past the 20?
When it's past the 20,
The 80 and the 20 on the stochastic?
oh yeah, on the stochastic, yeah. Okay, sure. Let me pull up my trading view. I don't think that there are any DeLoreans to actually look at, but I can still, oh,
If you,
actually,
yeah,
yeah.
your APY is a,
I'm looking at Euro, Swiss franc now, not going by currency strength, but let me go in and share my screen and I can do that. Let's see here. Okay. It's a little bit larger. Share screen. Okay. And if there's any sound, but I'll still share. Okay. Are you all able to see my screen now?
yes.
Okay. So this is me not checking currency strength, but let's say, because I'm not analyzing to actually trade. So the way that I take trades is different from the way that Alethea does. We both trade binary options and we both do our trades basically anywhere from 1 minute to 5 minutes, analyzing 5-minute charts for our entries. And we also look at, 15, 30-minute, hour, 45-minute charts as well, just to be sure that we have, what is the word? confluence
Yeah.
on our charts. That's right. So we want to be sure that if on a 5-minute frame, which is what you're looking at now, so this is showing, well, this is not really the best thing. This looks pretty consolidating overall.
Look
But
at you, JPY. That's
look at
your
what
JPY.
you're a JPY.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, so let's take a look back. Looks like a downtrend to me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. So let's look at this. So this is a downtrend. What Alethea does, again, is different from what I do, but let me just show you what I do. So I look for a setup that's called Delorean setup. And just to give you a brief idea, the main thing that I'm looking for, the indicators that you see on my screen, all these different colored lines, I want them to line up in exactly the order that they are right now. Yellow, red, aqua, gray, and blue. That's the order. And actually, if I were taking trades, this would be the ideal setup for me to be looking for bearish ideas, because I want those lines to be on top of the candles. So you see the candles are here. And ideally, in a Delorean setup, what will happen is we want to take price at the yellow line price. So and sometimes the candle doesn't always hit the yellow line, but what you see here, we're talking about bearish ideas. That means that we're hoping that the market drops from wherever I enter. And you can see that this is what has happened here pretty consistently. At some point, it touched this yellow line and then price dropped. Same here. There was a little bit of a wick that it reached the yellow line and there was a drop. So it touches the yellow line and drop. Those are the setups that I look for. Now there was one green, a very tiny green candle right there. But so that's what I look for. So in addition to having those lines, and you don't always see them. So let me just do a quick glance. So here's Euro NZD. That's not yellow, red, aqua, gray, blue. Here's Euro USD. That's not yellow, red, aqua, gray, and blue, right? So it takes a while to find this setup. And even if we go back a few minutes ago, or an hour or two ago, it wasn't lining up yellow, red, aqua, gray, blue. So it takes a while for me to find the setup that I need. Now, even though this is the setup, so Alethea was just talking about overbought and oversold areas. So right now, this is in an oversold area. When I look at the lines up here, then I go down here and you see this STOCH. This is the stochastic that I look at. And I want to have in the stochastic, so most people, the way that we were taught to set it up, their lines are going to be yellow and red in the stochastic. And we like for where it's yellow and red to mimic that in the stochastic as well. But we know that when a market is overbought or oversold, that eventually it has to reverse. So for me, this is obviously, okay, we have everything is lined up and we're expecting the market to go down. But when it gets down here into this oversold area, it doesn't have really anywhere to go. So it's going to have to reverse. And so for me, when I'm taking trades, when I see that the stochastic is around this 20 line here, so when she was talking about the 20, when I see that the stochastic is there, even if I've been able to, let's say I was able to hop in here and take a few trades down. But then when it gets here, this is when I'm stopping, because this is when I know that it's going to have to turn eventually. Now, I would have been able to get, you see, at least 3 more wins in here, but I would not have taken that chance, especially on a day like today. If I'm trading and I was able to get any of this going down, right here where this crossed up is likely where I'm stopping. Once I saw this green line start going back up, I would have just shut off this screen and I would have assumed that this thing is starting to go up before it comes back down again. But it did switch up and go a little bit lower. This is kind of unlikely though, and it's just not safe for me. So when I'm taking trades, what I like to see, once I finally have my lines set up, if I'm taking bearish ideas, I like for it to start as close to this 80 line or above when I see this stochastic cross up and I see that the red line, I see that the red line is on top of the green line. That's it would be yellow line for a lot of people, depending on how they set up their stochastic. We can customize this thing. But when I look for that, then, and I see it up here, then I kind of have an idea that, okay, there's a likelihood that I get to take a little bit of a ride down. And so that allows me to clear somewhere between usually 3 to 7 trades in one session. Yeah, I have to wait for the setup. I have to look at a few pairs to see which one is going to line up. But so it allows me typically to just kind of ride this thing down. It'll touch the yellow line, go down, touch the yellow line, go down. More kind of like what you see happening here. But again, for me, I never would have gotten in on any of those. Me personally, people take those trades all the time and you see that they clear. It's just not safe for me because look at what happens so often when it hits this 20 line. You see here starting to go up here. Okay, we get even the couple of trades that went down, only one of those would have cleared. Then it starts to go up. And so for me, I just look at this as a danger zone if I'm taking bearish ideas. And on the flip side, if I'm taking bullish ideas, I'd like to see my cross up that I'm looking for with the green line on top of the stochastic. I'd like to see that start somewhere around this 20 line or below. And then I'm going to ride this thing until I get to 80. And then I start getting into overbought territory. And when I get into the overbought territory, that's when I stop taking trades. But it's likely sometimes that, you know, there could be 5 more good trades, you know, up to 5 more good trades that I could take. I just don't do it because it's too risky for me. But if I'm able to catch my cross up around the 20 to take it up, then that's what I do. And I'm able to ride and pretty much make what I need to make. There's no need to be greedy because we're out the market, like Alethea taught, and she teaches every week, it's always going to give you more entries. So that's how I do it. If anybody has any questions on what I look for, then let me know.
Great job explaining. No questions, anybody? Okay, so what I will add, right? You mentioned that once you find that ideal setup that you can do 3 to 7 trades. Now, let's go back to that whole thing of risking 1 to 3%. For that person who is a seasoned trader who does risk 3%, called to, I'll ask you what that means in a second. For that person who risks 3%, 7 trades is much more trades than they need. In like 3 trades, they would have made their daily percentage for the you know, and they could just go about their business, right? Even the 1%er, if they're able to clear 7 trades, that's great. The 3%er, they could do it in 3 trades, you know, depending on the payout percentage. So there's that. Okay, so Usario, oh, this was a you took an entry on Nadex and cleared for
Yeah, so on the Nadex platform here with the Liberty, what is that program? It was it was showing the same thing we were just looking at, and I had took 2 trades on the one on the buy and then one on the sell and cleared both of them. So I just was sharing it with you.
Okay, awesome.
Nice.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm not familiar with Liberty, but yeah, based on the teachings, definitely my markups and everything, I'm not supposed to be taking a call, but I just, I was just playing around to see what
Mhm.
can happen. And because I know that it has to go up, and we see that it's going up. It's two green candles that we have now.
Right.
I just was a little bit premature because the saying is trade with the trend. The trend is your friend, right? And I was going against the trend. We can definitely see that this is a downtrend happening right here. But right now
Mhm.
we see that in the stochastic, the green line is above the red. So that signifies moving up. And that's what we saw happen there.
Right.
Um, you want that definite X, and I didn't wait for the definitive X, or I could have gotten in and gotten out. But that's something I'm working on. And that's what your
Mhm.
demo account is for practicing, so you can learn to do new things,
Right.
But yeah, let me talk about one last thing about
Yes.
setting up a trading plan. So if I could share my screen yet again.
Mhm.
Thank you. Um, there we go. So now we're going to take a look at a compound calculator, compounddaily.org, right? And, everything we do, we have a plan, from a young age, when you decide that you're going to be an astronaut or a doctor or a carpenter, whatever it may be, there are certain things you need to do in order to get to that goal. And it's the same thing with trading. When you start trading, you're like, oh, yeah, I want to make $1 million. It's not going to happen next week. There are, it's a series of things that you need to do to get there. And we're going to use this compound calculator to help us in that effort. Say you want to make $10,000, right? And you're starting with $100. Now, this calculator, you can play with all the numbers. You can do whatever you want, but this is the standard that we go with. So say you want to start with $100, and you can start with whatever amount you want, $50, $100, $1,000, whatever you want to start with. But we're going to go with the 100, which is the default when we log in here. And say we want to grow this by 8% every day. We want to do that for 60 days. And for those 60 days, we're not going to take anything out. So the reinvestment is 100%. And the market closes at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on a Friday, reopens at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on a Sunday. So we're not going to include the weekends. So $100, bring it by 8%. Some people may think 8% is a lot. Some may think 8% is a little bit. Let me put it to you this way. Go check your checking or savings account with your bank. What percentage are you getting there? You'll find that it's less than 1%. It's more like 0.0025 or something crazy like that, right? So 8% is something, you know, it's a whole lot of something, because you wouldn't even get 8% in an entire year with what the bank's doing with your savings account. And the funny thing is, when we put our money in the bank for safekeeping, it's not just sitting there waiting until we're ready for it. They're actually taking our dollars, they're investing it, they're making money in this very same foreign exchange market that we're now showing people how to get into. They're making their profits and they're going about their business and they're saying, oh, thanks, here's that interest for paying you less than 1%, right? So let's show you how to do it for yourself. Bypass the middle man. So what's it going to be in 60 days? That money will have grown from $100 to $10,125.52. So an earning of over 10,000. Now, I just told you about the amount of money that they pay us, right? The less than 1%. So we know that if we put that $100 in a bank and leave it there, this could never happen. As a matter of fact, they'll charge you for not having enough of a minimum balance, right? You go back in 2 months and you're liable to see anything there. Actually, 35 times 2, that's $70. You go back and see $30, less than $30. Yay, I did some math. I think I'm correct too. But anyway, so day one, 8% of $100 is just $8. So you need to make $8 on the first day and stop trading. Now, remember, I said you're not risking more than 3%, and as a newbie, you're only risking 1%. So you're going to risk $1 as many times as need be till you hit that $8 mark. And if you get to $7 or $9, and remember, this is a calculator. I didn't say this before. This is a calculator, so it's perfect math. We're humans, so there's no guarantee that we're going to hit 8% every single time. There's no guarantee that you'll make a profit every single time, right? So, because on a day like today, imagine not understanding this whole thing with the news, jumping in the market. There's this red folder looming over the entire day. You do your analysis, it looks great. You're like, okay, I'm getting in this trade. You could get in and you lose everything because, the market is just acting bizarre. So you can find that you take lessons, and that's what investing is all about. There's no investor who hasn't taken a loss, but it's learning to manage that risk so that you can be growing your account as opposed to, your account going down on the regular. But yeah, I feel like I'm babbling on and on. So you need to make $8 the first day and you stop trading. $8 doesn't sound like a lot. When we talk about investing, people are accustomed to hearing about 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures. So what's this one figure? What's this $8 you're speaking of? Don't think of it in terms of the dollar amount. Think about it in terms of the percentage that you're making, because there's nowhere else that you can go and do this. Next day, it's going to be 8% of $108. So that's $8.64 now that you need to make on day 2. And on and on and on. Let's fast forward to day 30. And here, 8% is now $74.54. Still 8%. It's just being disciplined and being patient and, sticking to your plan. $74.54 looks a lot better than $8, right? And yet it's still 8%. But that's what compound interest can do for you. And on the last day, 8% is now $750.04 in just 2 months. Now, this is with perfect math. But say, as we're human, you don't hit that 8% every day. You fall short. You're only able to make $5,000. Would it be okay with you if you can make $5,000 in 2 months by following a trading plan? For me, yes, right? So that's what I wanted to show you. And we can end it here. Let's see. She came to, yes, I include myself in the human population. Should I exclude you, Ty? Am I doing something
I'm
wrong?
just wondering why a robot keeps trying to pass as human. It's weird.
Brooke, your bank could handle 5K. Yeah. Yay. Yeah.
Ty, you're not gonna talk about iRobot like that. She has feelings.
You're right. She does have feelings.
Excuse me? Usuario? Usuario? Really now? Oh, okay. All right. Gang, gang. Y'all ganging up on me. So, does anybody have any questions? Shauna, I know you haven't been on with us in a while. Hopefully I wasn't going too fast, but this is on my YouTube channel, Alethea B. So you can always go back and watch this. I see we have a Rob that has joined us. Rob, I know you missed the first part of the call. It is on YouTube, so you can always go back and watch it. Who invited you? Your face, your name, not your face. Your name is new to this call. Who invited you to this call? If you don't mind, you can unmute or you can type in the chat if you're shy.
That was me.
Oh,
He not gonna talk.
He unmuted. He unmuted.
Oh, he was gonna say
I,
something.
I,
Okay.
I
You
was,
can
but I could barely
Go
hear.
ahead,
My
go
bad.
ahead, King.
Oh no, Kamar invited me to this call.
Oh, okay. Come on. Okay. And are you familiar with the trading world, or is this a first time for you?
Fairly, somewhat familiar. I've heard some of the lingo and talks before.
Okay. All right. Well, if you have any questions, Tamar can reach out to me. We can set up a three-way or a Zoom and we can delve into it. Oh, but thank you for joining us. I hope
Thank
you
you for
learned
having.
too. No problem. All right, so Ty, we're going to close this call out. Do you have any last words before we go?
I don't have any last words. It's just, robot lives do matter. And if I offended you, I apologize.
Wow. Wow. Usuario. Okay. Wow. Okay. Hey, I'm not even gonna be mad.
Well, you
Am I
can't be really, but
right? Because I don't have emotion.
right.
Right. Well, me and
You can
my
have full emotions.
oh, okay.
That's
Thank
true.
you.
But
Well,
since she's programmed to not be mad at this time, of course you're not gonna be mad. Like,
I'll tell you what, me and my Google Home,
mm-hmm.
when it's time for the robots to take over, I'll
Mm-hmm.
remember who was nice and who was
I'm sure you will remember. You have very extensive memory capacity in the back of your neck, don't you?
yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. I'm going to say goodbye to all the people out in YouTube land. All right. Thank you for joining. Please come back. Go subscribe to the Twitter Holic. That's my other channel. Thank you. Bye. Also, oh wait. Also, Ty is from the Ty Said What Ty Said channel. You can check her out over there for vintage scandals. And she also has somebody's pastor is always getting arrested. You want
It's
to
true.
go over there and check that channel out as well. All right.